Just over a week ago, Scotland were the kings of the coefficient, but fast forward 1 week and the castle has been sacked. The king has been beheaded. Forget about lucky number 7. We've just committed the 7 deadly sins. No wins in our last 7 European games, and our coefficient is crumbling. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. I don't know what has happened. Conference League, Europa League, Champions League, it was all looking good. Just over a week ago, Rangers went into that game against Victoria Pilsen with a 3-0 lead. Since then, it's just been a disaster. Most of the games played have resulted in losses. There's not been a single win for a Scottish team in that period. And yeah, so we've had 2 Rangers games, 2 defeats. We've had 2 Hibernian games, 2 defeats. We've had Dundee United drawn but then getting knocked out. And we've had Aberdeen drawn with a massive man advantage for most of the game, and Celtic drawn against one of the poorest teams in European competition in terms of both, I think, quality on the pitch and finances that they spend. So just a disaster for Scottish football.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have went much worse, honestly.
That intro or the Scottish
No,
football?
the intro was alright, but that Rangers game feels a lifetime ago. See the amount of shite football.
You boys put that shitstorm in motion.
See the amount of shite football.
Didn't they, Rangers?
They did. But see the amount of shite football I've had to sit through this midweek. I couldn't tell you which game was worse, honestly. Because people may think Aberdeen drawing 2 for Star Bucharest is good, but I watched it. I played the game. It was fucking brutal, man. Honestly, they made guys like Oscar Cortez look good. Some of those Aberdeen players, man. That's what I will say. And, well, there's one guy that they couldn't make good, and that's Big Adam Ida, man.
Well, listen, I've been accused
You've
of
been adamant about Ida.
Yeah, I've been accused of being a hater. I've been accused of, having some personal against the guy, being bitter, being obsessed, all this shite. When in reality, I was the first person to say it. Adam Adair's shite. He's not worth the 9 million. I mean, he's not worth £9. And I'm sick of this argument that, he's a good player, they just overpaid a little. What do you mean overpaid a little? So what amount would have been an acceptable amount for Adam Adair? Because he's pish. He's fucking shite. Are you telling me that if Celtic paid 6 million, you'd be sitting here saying, oh, well, that was good value for money. Adam Adair's worth 6 million. Honestly, what amount would you have had to have paid for you to genuinely actually sit here and go, I think that was decent business. I think that was worth it. For me, under $1 million. Without a doubt, under $1 million.
You know what the funny thing is, though? If he never came back, he would have been lauded as like a Celtic great for 6 months, cup final goal, bunch of goals in the league that got them over the line. It's the permanent transfers killed him.
But look at Matt O'Reilly, for example. 1.5 million was great for them, got sold on for 25. That's good business. That's value for money. Adam Adair's value for nothing.
Well, Adam Adair's legacy will be the fact he single-handedly, maybe alongside Andy Engels, has prevented this war chest from being open.
Yeah, I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's one of those things where if Celtic didn't pay the money to get him back, majority of their fans would have been pissed off, would have been complaining that they didn't spend the cash, they were too tight, they were too stingy, they didn't pay the money, the amount that Norwich wanted, and they should have brought him back because he was a goal scorer. He could have been, a good competition for Kyogo, and he won the Scottish Cup. So he effectively won it for them against Rangers. His loan spell was actually not that bad.
Maybe Kyogo would still be at the club if they never brought this guy in.
I mean, I guess there's a bit of potential in there that could be potentially true, but it's very straight. It is strange just how bad he has been since permanently joining, and I never rate him. I never thought he was good on the loan spell either, but I will say in the loan spell, I can pinpoint some moments. The game against Motherwell, where he gets the brace, he turns a 1-0 defeat into a 2-1 win, and that was at a point when
3-1, but you got 2 goals.
Alright, well, fair enough. But that was at a point where alright, but the third goal came right at the end of the game. That was at a point where Celtic could have went 4 behind Rangers, I believe.
Yep.
Had they drew that, because they were already 2 behind. So had Celtic not won that game, even if they drew it, they'd been 4 behind, and that would have changed it, because at that moment it was all momentum Rangers. So yeah, I give him a lot of credit for that game, and then even though it's a tap-in, he scores the win on the Scottish Cup final.
Also, the 2 penalties against Hibs.
So, hold on, was that not... That game was a screw job.
Aye, but he still put them in the back of the net.
Aye, well, shouldn't have been penalties. Point is, though, right, at least he had his moments. He had his moments in his loan spell.
The loan
What?
spell was worth it. The loan was a great deal, but the permanent, no.
Anyway, should we just talk about Celtic here and Kairat, or...
What else? Bodo Glimt, fair play to them. Paphos, fair play to them. Fair play to Quarabag.
5-0 Bodo Glimt, that's a great result.
That is a great job, because I'd say on paper you'd look at those two and be like, oh, they're quite equal, but the reality is Bodo Glimt are on the way up. Semi-finals Europa League last year. Looking forward to them in the Champions League because they're through.
And Paphos, good result for them as well. Could be seeing them in the Champions League, which would be a surprise, right? Celtic Kairat could sit here and spend 10 minutes talking about all the goals, but that really wouldn't be efficient, would it?
I'd be a non-event.
Celtic fans not happy, shouting sack the board. Just the entitlement is crazy. Listening to Ryan 118 saying that for the money that they put in, they deserve better. It's like all fans put money into their clubs, and some people never even get to see their team win a trophy in their fucking lifetime. Celtic are winning doubles, trebles every single season. So I don't see how you're not getting your money's worth.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane, and it is entitlement. People can spin it as a narrative and turn around and say, well, it's because our club's up here and your club's down there. I would fucking, I mean, obviously I'd love it, right? See if you flip a Rangers and Celtic situation in the last 13 years, what fucking state would these entitled bastards be in?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine they only had one league title in 14.
Make no mistake about it, right? Make no mistake about it. Celtic should have spent money this summer, right? Should have, absolutely. But the reality is, they should be beating this Kairat team, and it's on Rodgers and the players more than the board. Do you agree with that?
I agree, aye.
I mean, if I was to pinpoint out the three whose fault is it the most, the board's the least. Because this isn't a team that Celtic need to spend 40 million on to beat.
No, I agree. It's,
like, the fans are brain dead. You can't turn around and say, well, we're going to win the league easy, we're going to do another treble, and then at the same time be like, why aren't the board spending 40 million? The board don't need to spend 40 million to get past Kairat. They look at Rodgers and go, well, you should be able to do that.
He should, no. Rodgers should be able to beat this team with the current squad of players that he has, even though it's not great. Even though I look at the attacking options outside of Maeda, who will just not reproduce the same form that he did last season, because truthfully, he's just not that good. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's not as good as the performances last season would suggest. Last season would suggest that, like, Matt, because he was putting in world class levels, but the fact is, as good as a player as Maeda is, he was overperforming last season.
But also,
last season is not a true reflection of how good Maeda is. It's just not.
Arnie Engels, Big Adam Adair, right? Both didn't. Right, one started, one didn't. But that's their direct result of the board opening the war chest last summer, right? There's no guarantee if Celtic spent 20 million on a couple of players in this window, they'd have won this game.
No guarantee if they spent 20 million that Rodgers would have spent it correctly.
Yeah, look at Rangers, right? Rangers have spent 20 odd million. Can I sit here wholeheartedly and say that Rangers are better than last season?
Let's say Celtic spent 20 million and they brought in two players that had the exact same performance levels and abilities as Adam Adair and Arnie Engels. Does that necessarily get you over the line against Kairat? I don't think so.
I just think there needs to be a bit of accountability here for Rodgers and the players. The board are taking way too much of this.
Oh, we need players. We need players to be competitive. We need players to compete. If Celtic need players, then what do the rest of the teams in the league need?
Yeah, I know.
If Celtic need more players,
no, and that's what doesn't work, man. I just don't understand it. It's not like the Celtic team in the summer's been decimated, right? And they've brought nobody in. They've improved their left back position, and Nygren looks like an improvement on Engels.
I think the worrying thing for me is that at this point last year, Celtic had these four in attacking positions: Maeda, Kyogo, Jota, Kuhn.
Well, Jota and Kyogo was a swap deal essentially, though. 10 million in, 10 million out, so they didn't really have them at one point, did they?
Alright, well, you get my point.
No, I do get you.
If you change Kyogo and Jota, That's the options that they had.
Well, they still have Jota. He's just injured.
Yeah, but
And I think people got to remember that.
I think so. You're saying just because yeah, but he's going to miss pretty much the entire Champions League. I don't think that can really work. What I think Celtic should have done was then
So Celtic should go and spend another 10 million on one guy.
Well, no. But I tell you what, could they not certainly get a short-term loan deal? Could they not have loaned someone in? Could they not have loaned a player that has the quality of Jota in until January?
Could try, aye. But see this whole Brendan Rodgers. He's working with two hands tied behind his back. The guy. Why don't Celtic? Why hasn't he been experimenting? See if the board aren't going to buy him wingers. Why not play two up top or something? Why not play Johnny Kenny and Maida up through the middle?
I don't know.
Anything.
I don't know what Rodgers is doing, but it must be some sort of like mind games or something, because he's basic. Before this, he changed his tune a bit. He's like over exaggerating how good Celtic have been. He's like gaslighting the fans into believing that it's been a great start this season. It really wasn't.
And I also think his comments after the game was him taking pressure off the board.
Yeah, he's like,
when they say that, it's normally I go, not the board.
I mean, he said it was about a great start. Hold on, you beat a shite Aberdeen team who anybody could beat, and you beat St Mirren with a 1-0 deflected goal opening day, Parkhead, with about 3 minutes ago, and he said it was a great performance that day.
Falkirk game was alright.
A great performance? I'm sorry, I associate a great performance with Celtic putting teams to the sword 4-5-0.
But you know what the funny thing is? If that St Mirren game ends 0-0, this meltdown that happened on Wednesday would have happened a couple of weeks ago. But it would have been the black and white of St Mirren rather than the yellow and black of Kyrate.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It's like 1 minute, like 1 minute Rodgers is saying, "Oh, I need players, I need this," and then he's like talking up performances as if, "Oh, we don't need players." It's a bit strange. Like, why did Rodgers not come out after the St Mirren game going, "You know what? I'm glad that we won, but you can see the squad's not where we need it to be, and we got a bit fortunate at the end. We need to get players in soon for the next few games." But instead, he's came out before this match and basically saying, "Oh no, it's been a great start this season. We've been good." They haven't been good.
He's not gave Callan Osmond a chance. Johnny Kenny's barely had a chance. It's like you don't need to persist with either up front.
Yeah, I mean, I think he should be starting somebody. Start Yamada, see what he's got.
Yeah, well that's it.
Because we know what Ida's got, and he's got nothing.
I forgot about Sheen Yamada. He could definitely do something.
Anyway, 0-0. Celtic didn't really come. I mean, they had a Maida chance at the end. It was a really poor effort from Maida.
One team had the ball in the back of the net, and it wasn't Celtic.
0-0, not great. Move on. Rangers.
No, I'll tell you what though. I think the tie's very 50-50. Because I think even if Celtic turn up away in Kazakhstan, it's going to be tough. If they replicate what they did here,
well, the thing is,
to go
if I didn't see the game and I just seen the scoreline, I would have went, Celtic's had a bad day. They'll beat that team, no bother. But actually having watched the game, not only were Celtic pretty poor, but I thought that Karat team were thecent. And they've made a big deal out of the whole travelling. Now, did the travelling maybe affect Karat? Who knows? Maybe when Celtic travel out to Kazakhstan, maybe the performance levels that we see for both teams could be...
It's at like 800 metres above sea level.
Could be massively different. So
either or, what?
I mean, Kairat next week could be a hell of a lot better than we've seen.
Are you expecting more of a... Let's say Celtic go out. What's the meltdown like? Is it how much worse is it than this one?
Well, fucking way worse, isn't it?
Because you're out.
Of course.
We'll have to wait and see, folks. But yeah, and also, I mean...
Do you think any signings will be made between now and then? And the next week?
I don't think it matters. They can't put them in, I don't think.
You can put 2 in.
We'll have to wait and see. Either or. But see, the Celtic board can't win. Say they go and sign, right, a couple of people, and both guys make it 2-0 away in Kazakhstan. They're still chanting to sack the board. I think it's pathetic. But anyway, hangs in the balance. We'll move on. Rangers 1, Club Brugge. This one doesn't hang in the balance now. A lot of debate about what result's worse. Obviously, getting beat 3-1 at home is worse than a 0-0 draw. But see if you look at the context, this Club Brugge are ranked 23rd in the world, right? Karat's ranked 311th. So it's obviously apparent who's worse. But
Yeah, but let's be honest. I mean, eh, if you look at it objectively, you know which fans will be happier. As pish as that 0-0 draw might be, even if Celtic drew 0-0 with a San Marino team, it's still 0-0. You can still turn it around. You know what I mean? You're still going into the second leg level. Even though 3-1 on paper doesn't look that bad for Rangers, it's bad in the sense that I don't see them turning that tie around.
Yeah, the first 20 odd minutes was the worst I've ever seen.
You could make a case on purely on paper alone. You could make a case that Celtic's result against Kairat is more embarrassing or worse than Rangers' result against Club Brugge. But in terms of a result that is going to affect your Champions League future, then you would take the 0-0 over the 3-1 every day of the week.
Yeah,
so.
and people have to understand that. But what I would say is Rangers are out. I see no chance. Not a chance.
No, I don't see it happening either. 2-0 down within 7 minutes. The opening goal, Diga just seems to leave the ball. Butland half came out. I don't know if he's expecting Diga to play it back to him, but just got caught in no man's land. Decent finish. It was a good finish for the Club Brugge striker, but I mean, just shocking defending.
Just brutal, man. The disallowed goal as well. You know what? I said at the time, it probably should have stood. The rules are if he's got two hands on it, regardless of what the attacking player's doing, then it has to be disallowed. So that changes it. If Rangers make it 3-2, that's a lot better.
The second goal, just again, poor for Rangers. Third goal was really good. Volley into the back of the net.
Really good, but it's really shit for Danilo. Just letting the guy run out.
Well, Danilo's shite, and I mean, Danilo.
Yeah, see these people that all
but for me,
he's great because he scored. No.
Yeah, Danilo and Adam Adair are pretty much in the same boat as far as I'm concerned. Two players that are garbage. Then Rangers did get the goal in the second half with Danilo slides in. Couldn't really miss, to be fair. There was a penalty shout, didn't get it, and then they had that goal that was chopped off. I think both decisions were correct. Don't think it was a penalty. And just based on the whole so-called letter of the law, then that goal should be disallowed. But I mean, in reality, I'd like to think that that's something that you could let go in football. I think honestly, man, see if the goalkeeper's unable to hold on to the ball, even if he's got two hands on it, then does he really have, is he really got the ball secured?
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between a goalkeeper putting two hands on the ball and it's on the ground compared to a goalkeeper who's on the ground holding the ball.
Aye, and he's smothering it. He's on top of it. No, but let's say a goalkeeper's stretched and he's like planking on the ground, and he stretches both his arms out just so he can get fingertips on the ball. And then a split second later, the striker comes in and just pokes the ball out of his hands and taps it in. I think that should be a goal. Because the ball just
not been able to hold on to it.
Yeah, so he didn't have the ball secured.
Yeah.
Now I think it's different if the goalkeeper comes up and grabs the ball and he's got it in his hands, and then the player just comes up and lifts his leg and knocks it out. Then I think that's different. Or if the goalkeeper is on top of the ball and he's smothering it, and then the player comes in and throws a couple of boots like Hazard did to that ball boy, and he manages to get the ball, then totally that's a foul.
Mignolly said after the game though, "Oh, I knew once I had one glove on it, it was going to get ruled out." But that's bullshit though, because it's two. Either or, it get disallowed. I'm not going to greet too much about it because you can't start playing football at 3-0 down, and that's the worst thing here.
Oh, hold on here. But let's say a cross comes in and the goalkeeper comes out and attempts to grab it with one hand, and he manages to grab it with one hand in the air, and it's in his hand for a millisecond, but then the attacking player heads the ball out of his hand. It was in the back of the net. Why shouldn't that be a goal? That should be a goal because you haven't got the ball secured.
Well, I think it's two hands, but he said one post match. So I don't know. Either or.
No, the rules are correct. I just don't agree with the rules.
Well, do you agree with Rangers are out?
They're shite. They're not going to turn that around. Not a chance.
No.
But Benfica Fenerbahce,
Could you imagine?
That was level pegging. No.
Yeah. Crazier things have happened in the world of football, right? Imagine if Celtic go out on the Tuesday and Rangers go through on the Wednesday.
Fuck, the meltdown would be even worse.
Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen on the Europa League. Oh, I heard it here first.
I thought you said every team was going to drop down.
I did say that.
I tell you what, I would love to see. I'm not that I'm against Rangers and Celtic getting into Champions League, but I would like to think if Celtic and Rangers get
I think God is.
if Celtic and Rangers get into Europa League and you had Aberdeen and Aberdeen and Hibs, sorry,
You
in
watch,
the
mate.
in the Conference League, I think seeing 4 teams from Scotland represent it in Europe, and it would be great to see. First of all, from that standpoint, I would also like to see the fact that we've got 2 teams in each league. So you would have, it would almost be like Rangers and Celtic, and Hibs and Aberdeen would be directly competing against each other, because you would see them in a league, and you'd see these 2 teams in the same league with each other, and you just don't see that unless it's the Premiership. And another thing, just long term, and for the chance of having a better season, maybe it's a good thing if the Scottish teams drop into the lowest competition that they can. I get it, you want to compete with the big boys, but in terms of putting in getting good performances and good results, and your chances of going farther, then I don't know. I think that it might be for the best.
Well, the way you got to look at it is, one of these teams in every round here or every match day, you're gonna get one of them. I just fired a bunch of words out there that don't make any sense. But my point is, Quarabag or Ferencváros, you're gonna get one of them, right? Red Star Belgrade or Paphos, you're going to get one of them. Bodo Glimt or Sturm Graz, you're going to get one of them. Basel, Copenhagen, you're going to get one of them, right? So, there's a lot of teams that will be in the Champions League that you can beat.
I just think if both Celtic and Rangers are in the Europa League, and if both Aberdeen and Hibernian are in the Conference League, I would like to think there is a decent chance that all 4 teams can finish in the top 24 places.
I hope so,
if Rangers and Celtic are in the Champions League, and if Aberdeen are in the Europa League, I'm not. I think the chances of that happening drastically go down. Anyway, we'll move into the Europa League. So,
no, I would say is a key difference though between Rangers and Celtic right now. Celtic have a good defence. You don't agree with that? They've got a spine, and that's why even against Karat they didn't look. Yeah, Karat had their chances, but it didn't ever feel like it was in disaster mode at the back. Rangers just looked so uneasy and unable to cope with any team, man. It doesn't matter if it's Alba or Club Brugge. It's like, see, watching that Karat game, yeah, Carter Vickers made a mistake, but see when you've got Carter Vickers, Kieran Tierney, guys like that, McGregor ahead of them, that's a spine you need. And that more often than not is going to get you through games, even if your attack's brutal.
Yeah.
Like, see if Dyson Maeda gets stretchered off like Alistair Johnson. Celtic's front 3 is fucking rank rotten.
It's no great, is it?
No, it ain't. Honestly. Nah, not having it.
Right, well, let's move on. Europa League.
Nah, well, let's move on, mate. Let's talk about it. Let's go. I'm ready to fucking rock and roll.
We'll go then.
Well, you go. I've already talked about Aberdeen, Stade Bucharest. You hate Aberdeen. You get fucking fired into them.
Hold on, you just spent 5 minutes talking shite there about nothing, and then...
Well, what was I talking about then?
I don't even know, to be honest.
He wasn't even listening.
Just you're spewing random shit.
Key difference between Celtic and Rangers.
Have you got a key... the Celtic's defence is better, but you've got a core, the spine of your team, you can win game... What? What's that got to do with nothing?
What's that got to do with nothing? Right, mate, let the adults here have a fucking conversation about football, and you just...
I don't even think Celtic do have a good defence.
They do. Compared to Rangers, they do.
Compared to Rangers, yes.
Well, so Carter Vickers is pish?
No, but... He's not got a great partner, has he? No matter who you
Hold on, right? They've got Schmeichel, they've got Johnston. Not anymore, but they did. Right? Scales, Carter Vickers, Tierney. That's a solid defence. Point is, that's a decent spine, and that's what made them survive against Karat. Because Karat got into good positions, but they were ushered out, marshalled out. But any other big games in here? Let's see. Shakiji beating Ludogorets. That's a wee bit of a surprising one. Malmo winning 3-0. I don't even think there's any point worrying about teams that we're taking on, coefficient-wise.
No, look, Aberdeen, 10-man advantage, found themselves 2-0 down. Absolute shite. I guess if you look at it glass half full, they managed to come back and get a 2-2 draw. But in reality, for me, if Aberdeen were going to go through, they probably needed to have a better result at home.
Totally agree.
But here, I mean, it could be worse. The game could have finished 2-0. And then I would have said they had absolutely no chance.
Yeah, but you know
what? So now I'm just giving them a minor chance.
They should have won in the end, even despite playing poorly. But see when seeing it's 1-0 and you've got a man advantage, you need to be winning. Because that team's pish. They've won one at their opening 6. I don't care if they're Romanian champions. Rangers beat them 4-0 last year in one of our worst periods in recent history. So, not that Aberdeen are in a great period, but see Jimmy Thielen, man. I see his team. It's full of jobbers. Like, no word they lie, man. I see a bunch of guys that can't play football. A lot of them can't even string a pass together.
Yeah, no, Aberdeen don't impress me. Just a really
I rate
Pulvera.
Polvera and Polversa, even though they're like very similar guys, but there's just that Yenge, man, subbed off at half time again. A lot of his signings he takes off early for like favour of guys that he didn't bring in, and that's a worry.
To me, the Aberdeen team is worse than it originally was when Jimmy Thielen came in. I think his signings have made the team weaker.
No, they have. But here, like, Aberdeen's second likely to get through out the 4 teams. Second best chance.
Not for me.
Give Hibs more of a chance?
I give Hibs more of a chance of going through.
Yeah, probably. Probably, guys. But Lincoln Red Imps beat 4-0 as well.
There you go. Right, let's move into the Conference League then. Shelbourne beat Linfield in a rematch for these two Irish teams. Yeah.
2 teams playing on the island of Ireland, mate. There we go.
Two teams playing on the island. That's a technicality. That's a technical answer. Anyway, Shelbourne won.
Fucking technical knockout by the looks of it.
Well, yeah, Linfield just
down to 10 men.
Is the tie over?
They were down to 10 men for 80 odd minutes. I think 3-1's not the worst.
Did they not go down to 10 men in the last game as well against Shelbourne?
They did. San Marino almost getting a team through.
San Marino did no bad. Luxembourg's did no bad. Not a lot in these games, although, I mean, Noah's a good win for Noah, the Armenian side. What else have we got?
Crystal Palace only 1-0. Tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised they win it.
Yeah, I mean, well, he thought they would have probably got a better lead. Hibernian 2-1 at home against Legia Warsaw. Very poor, but might just be grateful to get away with that. 2-0 down, looked like they were going 3-0 down, goal was ruled off, and then Hibs score a goal pretty late on. That massive difference there. I know that ifs and buts, but 3-0 I think would have finished that tie off.
No, absolutely. What do you make of the Conference League adding in the top 5 leagues to play in the playoff round? Why don't we see that in the Europa League or the Champions League? Well, I guess in the Champions League you do.
Because I think the Champions League, they just want, they don't want to risk the big nation teams not making it. I don't think they really care as much about the Conference League.
It's a disgrace in my opinion. Hibs are lucky though, it was 3-0 at one point and ended 2-1, so I think they'll take that. The team that Dundee United could have got beat Rapid Vienna 2-1, so that's a bit surprising. But here, result of the midweek, Santa Clara 1, Shamrock Rovers 2, and to me, this is just living proof that our teams are shite.
No, they are. Great win there for Shamrock Rovers. Although, did Santa Clara, who did they beat in the last? It was Larne, wasn't it?
I think so.
Did Larne not get a draw with them in the second leg? I think did Larne not draw, or were they not beating them? And they got beat 4-1. It was 7-1 in aggregate, wasn't it?
Aye.
Is that what it ended up?
No, I think Larne did get a draw, but they
didn't then? Right, okay.
What do you mean they didn't?
I said it was... Right, well...
I just you fucking take a wee chill pill there, a wee time out.
So
mate.
I said 7-1 and you agreed, then you went, no, I thought they got a draw.
Aye, because I think they got beat like 6-0 and then they drew 1 each.
Right, well, I don't really recall that either.
They definitely got a draw. We're going to look at it right here in a minute.
Well, no, we're not really, but either way, I just think it goes to show you that there's a massive difference. Well, maybe not massive, but you're not sitting here thinking which league's better, the Irish League or the Northern Irish League. I think it's quite clear that one is superior to the other, and we tend to see it when Irish teams take on non-Irish teams. The Irish team tends to win, and we just tend to see that Irish teams happen to be more competitive against. But I do remember actually Larne did get a draw, so can Shamrock Rovers go through? Why not? They've got the advantage and they've got the home tie coming.
Tell you what, man.
Could we see 2 Irish teams in the? That would be great for Irish football.
It would be, but
amazing.
It just makes me think, well, how fucking shite are our teams?
Yeah, no, that would be That would be the the downside to it. But no, fair play, and that's what you need. See if Ireland can get both of those teams in.
That can get them above the rest.
Yeah, because see a couple of wins, and all of a sudden you can move like 5, 10 places up the coefficient, and then the following season you're starting at a later tie, you're entering at a later tie, or you're getting a higher seed, and once you get higher up the coefficient, once you get higher up the seedings, it's easier to maintain because you're getting the easier draws. So I mean, it's the big next week's gonna be massive.
And they've done it away from home as well.
Wouldn't be surprised if Santa Clara put them to the sword and beat them like 3 or 4-0, but we'll have to wait and see.
But again, they're not one of the better teams in Portugal, so
No, they're not. So there is that.
There is that, but let's go into the coefficients, which will not be a good reading.
No, it won't be. So there you go, guys. Pretty disgusting. In fact, it's just. I mean, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
When Dundee United are still sitting top, man, you got a problem.
Yeah. Like I said, going into that game that Rangers had last Tuesday, Scottish teams were unbeaten.
Yeah. Well, apart from the Hibs Midtjylland game.
No, I'm not counting that.
But we're counting it, mate.
Right. So yeah, it's just. I mean, it's piss poor. It is fucking piss poor. In total, there has been 16 games, and in the last 7, there's been no wins. So in the first there's
9.
been so 16 games in total. So in the first 9 games, we had 5 wins and 4 draws. Albeit they did say the Hibernian draw was a defeat, even though it wasn't. But just to not pick up a single win in the last 7, decimated the coefficient, and now we have the same amount of defeats as we do wins.
What do you think is going to happen next week? Will it be better than 2 draws and 2 defeats? It's going to fucking
It's going to have to be it's going to have to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4 defeats.
Sadly, I could see that happening. Well, who's most likely to get beat? I think if Club Brugge put in effort, they'll beat Rangers.
I think it's a weird one. I think it's weird, the Club Brugge Rangers game. They'll probably feel like it's tied done. I would actually fear more for Rangers losing if they took a draw over. So that will be an interesting circumstances there. But again, if Rangers score 1, I think Club Brugge are going to have to wake up. As for Aberdeen, I don't rate Stade Bucharest. If Aberdeen can just cut out mistakes, they've got a good chance. But they're shite. Legia Warsaw surprised me tonight, but I'm not going to sit here and say Hibs didn't have their chances. And Hibs have been better away from home. It's weird. I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of our teams lost, and I wouldn't be all surprised if all 4 of our teams, won.
I'd be a bit surprised if all 4 won, to be fair. But I do think the fact that Rangers are trailing 3-1, that, in a way, I think that almost gives them a better chance of winning than if Rangers were winning, or if the tie was level.
Well, that's what I said.
I do think Club Brugge could maybe take their foot off the gas. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. But we need to perform. We need to do something. Right, another 2 wins then for the Irish team. Shanghai over, Shelbourne looking pretty good then, got an average of 3.5. I expect to see Shelbourne in the Conference League, and we'll just have to wait and see if Shamrock Rovers can join them. But I mean, you can see here, the Irish League, they're winning more games than they're losing.
Which is impressive, because it never used to be the case.
No, I mean, many games they've played in total. They've played, 18?
Yeah.
And they've got 9 wins, so they've won half their games.
Yeah. And they've won or drew 2/3 of their games.
So they've won half their games. In comparison to us, we've played, 16 and only won 5?
Yeah, man.
It's just not good enough for us.
I know the opponents are harder, but
it's not good enough.
No, it's not. It's no good enough, man.
And Northern Ireland, they're looking like they're not going to really do anything now. I mean, Linfield could potentially add a couple of coefficient points next week, but I don't see them coming through the tie, and I think they'll be the last team from Northern Ireland to get not really eliminated, should I say. Anyway, guys, that's it. There is your review show. We'll be back for, don't know what we'll be back for next. SPFL preview.
Potentially, folks. Aberdeen, they've got that game postponed. Will it help them?
Oh, they decided to go ahead and postpone that.
Aye,
Then?
Dundee United.
I don't know if I'd have done that sitting bottom of the table.
Well, they already. It was announced weeks ago.
Yeah, but I thought they cancelled it like Rangers did.
No, just Rangers cancelled it.
Alright, well, I mean, Aberdeen.
Bet you Celtic are wishing they cancelled it.
Well, probably, but here.
Davy Martindale's going to ram the TV up their arse.
What that does mean is Aberdeen's next game's against Falkirk.
Ooh.
And if they don't beat them, then Jimmy Teelan could be in trouble.
Could be, but fuck it, it's been a bit of meltdown city in August so far.
Alright, and we'll be reacting to more Fallout tomorrow. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, peace.